Hello. Okay. Shit. In the realms. Oh, well done. Yes. My little trail. Little trail. Oh.
If, like me, you were wondering whether Crumbling was actually a decent game worth getting, whilst actually being slightly confused of what Crumbling is all about, well, you've actually come to the right place, my friends, as I intend on answering that very question. So hit those like and subscribe buttons and let us delve right into Crumbling. The story of Crumbling is told really well through a set of comic books, and these comic books need piecing together by finding the pages within your gameplay. It is voiced so majestically that you can't help but to want to collect those pages to hear what comes next. And I would say that the narrator definitely helps the story flow, just of how he speaks and how he portrays the characters and the world around you. But to be absolutely truthful, the story isn't that bad as well. It's a bit basic. Basically, the little shops being screwed over by the big corporates. Nothing majorly special apart from, well, magic and the like, and also toys coming to life. But I'd say it's definitely interesting enough to hold one's interest. Crumbling at its heart is a roguelike, which kind of means that you will die quite a bit in this game, but not everything you've collected and gained will go to waste, and it will carry on to your next character. Crumbling has done its best to almost bring you back to your childhood, and I have to admit, looking at this in VR, I was just astounded. It is amazing, and you traverse the areas by moving your character wherever you want kind of on the screen, and then if you want to go closer or further away or just different angles, you push either one of the side buttons to move you forward, backwards, up or down, or both of the side buttons, the trigger buttons, to kind of like swivel you around so that you can look in different ways. The combat, and yes, there is quite a bit of combat, like almost all the time, is done in various ways depending on your character. If you're a close-up character, for instance, you can slash at the enemy, you can thrust him by actually thrusting him in the direction, you can press the trigger button to swipe at the enemies. There are even various special abilities that you can use during your combat. But then if you're playing a ranged character, for instance, it can be completely different. I mean, literally a completely different experience, which kind of threw me off guard at first. Take the totem guy. You actually get to place totems around the screen to activate different powers, like almost like a laser or firebolts and things like that. The gameplay is kind of basic, but it's actually quite good fun. And in such a way, I wasn't 100% of a fan of this until I really dug into it. Going through portal after portal, taking on different mobs, and these can range from ranged or close combat, from cows throwing milk at you from their udders, to snakes launching waves of venom that stick there for a while, and hitting these waves of venom can do you damage. And then you get things like bats and also these spiky things that do damage, and lots more. I kind of thought there would be less enemies, but as I progressed there were more and more, which pleased me and also kept me on my toes. And trust me, some of these battles could be kind of frantic with the amount of enemies and things to avoid and things that are exploding all at the same time, whilst you're trying to traverse yourself around everything in order not to get hit by things, whilst at the same time trying to collect as much of the magic that these characters are dropping so that you can fill up your magic bottle in order to use it for unlocking other things and also upgrades. On your travels and at the end of certain sections, there are boss battles, and these were actually quite decent. And although again it's kind of like learning patterns because you were so one-to-one and so close to these enemies and battling and doing various different things whilst trying to survive, it really felt quite cool. At the end of each section or biome, you get to put something up of your characters, like your attack power up, your health up by 20, or permanently put your health up by plus 5 points, or making one of your special powers last longer or do more damage. For instance, there is a pretty neat power where you get to trail this traily thing behind you, and if the enemy hits it, it does them damage. Now you can elongate that with these power-ups, or you can upgrade it so it does more damage. And because health is a factor within this, it sometimes does get rather tactical of what to pick. The devs have done such a great job in trying to make each character feel different and also give you the opportunity to try different styles out, that playing several times doesn't necessarily get boring. There's even some light mini games dotted around just for you to, I'm guessing, break up the game and also gain a few extra power-ups before the major stuff starts happening. And let's not forget the coins that you can collect. And basically this takes you back to the actual main shop.
Hello.
Ah, it's good to be back.
Is it?
Where there's a till. And again, you can gain power-ups from this till that you can use in the main game, but you'll be needing the right coinage in order to use them. And then there's the orbs, and you can swap these orbs around, put them into play, take them out of play, and basically using these to augment your character, additionally to some of the other permanent power-ups. And you can put these up as well by using the magic that you've collected during your gameplay that I mentioned before. You'll also need magic to get new characters, or should I say to magically give them life. And then they go onto the toy rack, you take one off the peg and basically tear off the front panel, the plastic bit, and grab your little character with which hand that you desire and start using them.
You can even change the colour once you...
Let's bring some colour into this.
Smoking! That did work.
There are plenty of collectibles to, be collected during the gameplay. Crumbling does offer quite a few things and different things that you can do within its gameplay. And there's even some things to do in the shop if you take the time to look around and maybe play with a few toys here and there. The only downside I kind of see is the fact that it is bordering on the repetitiveness, where it's kind of the same gameplay loop. But as I've mentioned before, I kind of feel like it depends on your personal taste and feeling towards the game, as I didn't get that bored with it, but I can see some people getting a little bit bored because it's the same gameplay loop. But then from my personal view of roguelikes, it's kind of that anyway. Graphically, they have done such a wonderful job on this game. It looks beautiful. The comics are spot on. You have to turn the pages and all. The areas or biomes, or however you want to call them, little islands, they are really well made. Shame they don't move much, but they still look pretty decent. The odd thing moves like the windmill and all, but in general it's pretty static, and it has that shiny kind of plasticky sheen which kind of gives it a authentic look. Sound wise, as I said, it's voiced by, I'm not even quite sure who it is. I tried looking him up and I think I found him, but I don't want to say just in case it's the wrong person, but his voice is quite soothing, quite nice, and one of those voices that you just want to listen to. Other than that, all your usual sounds are there: swiping, hitting, the sounds of the creatures and the mooing and the like. It's all there and it all sounds pretty decent. The music, I guess I didn't turn it down, it's quite soothing, which for me is, definitely a plus. As it's a VR game, how does it perform exercise-wise? And I know not every single game is going to be an exercise game, but from my view, most games that I've played, even the ones that aren't intended to be an exercise game, has tired me out in one way or the other. Crumbling is one of those relaxing, you can sit on the settee, you're not really going to get tired by it. More or less everyone can play this. Delphina had a go at it, and apart from her feeling slightly nauseous from the movement, she did enjoy the aesthetics, the look, the sound, and basically the gameplay as well. I would say the only exercise that you'll be getting off this game is probably with the arm that you're picking up and using to control your toy with, and yeah, that's about it. That's probably my only complaint, or my biggest problem with the game, is after a while of playing it, like an hour or so playing it, your arm really starts to fatigue quite a bit. So much so that at times I've had to put the controller down, come out of it and just wait a bit just to go back into it. But I really wouldn't say that it's really that taxing. So on a level of 1 to 10 on how taxing the game is to play, I'd probably say a 1 or a 2, probably a 2. And now for the main score. Now, I absolutely love this game. It's so cute. It's one that you can show the friends, family when they come round. People can get involved without even knowing much about VR, and it's cute as heck. So I am actually going to give Crumbling a 7 out of 10, mainly because I think this will stay with me for quite a while, and it's definitely one that I'm going to drag out to show people whenever anyone comes round and they were like, ooh, MetaQuest 3, have a go at this. Although if you have any thoughts on Crumbling, do leave them down in the comments, and also let us know down in the comments what your go-to game is to show off VR whenever you get guests coming around. Also, if you've made it this far into the video, hit those like and subscribe buttons. It really does help the channel. And take care of yourselves out there, because life is better when we game together.